right. I mean, the misplay on the fly ball, the line drive, that was reminiscent of Kurt Flood versus Jim Northrup in the 1968 World Series. Kind of came in a couple steps and the ball went over his head, and that just happens. The line drive right at an outfield is the most difficult play to make, but then he had the chance for redemption. He came through. You talk about the total team victory right there. How about it? Even down to the point, which I don't know if everybody noticed or really glommed on to the point where if we don't play the infield in right there, Martine's ball falls and that run scores. All kinds of crazy little nuances in the game, and that's why the game is so beautiful. It's even more beautiful when you win a game like that. But there was so many little subplots in tonight's game. You know what? I want to believe this game has to give us some kind of impetus moving forward, because I mean that's a real tough. You got 2 outs, nobody on against their closer. And then furthermore, you get to 2 strikes on the hitter after the new guy steals second base. You know, that doesn't happen every day. And so all that stuff, I want to believe is going to give us some kind of push. I know it was. And that wasn't necessarily planned. That was him reading what was going on. So you got to give him a lot of credit in that particular moment. And how about Freddie? Freddie shows up, new guy in the blocks, showed up in the dugout yesterday, introduced himself all around. And we threw him out there. Not really, we had an idea what to expect, but not necessarily that. We took a chance, we got it, and sometimes you got to take some risks, get out on the limb, because that's where the fruit actually occurs.
Well, Alex Torres' little stint out there tonight.
How about him?
Yeah.
I mean, this guy goes out there and pretty much said, I'm going to get this guy out, and he did. I mean, Martinez had a great series against us. The other guy, Baker, he's tough on lefties. He hits the double, and they got everything they want. They got tons of speed on the bases. Whatever, but you got to give him credit. How about Gomer? Gomer comes in against a really tough Kinsler and punches on 3 well-located fastballs. Just an interesting game, and obviously more effusive after you win a game like that. To lose a game like that's much more difficult. That truly is. I mean, I'm not one that normally talks about rookie mistakes because anybody can make them. But that's a play right there. If you know the league and you know the player, that you know that you got to get into it quickly and get it back in quickly. Period. And had he gotten to the ball quicker and thrown it in quicker, there's no way Andres could have scored on that play. So that's a lesson learned. Gratefully that it was learned during a win and not a loss. But that's something I would want to believe he'll never do again. He was not happy. You know, that's not something I want to confront him about at that particular moment. He had to go up and hit right after that. And the guy cares. The guy's a really good baseball player. Like I said, we learned some tough lessons along the way. This one was learned in a positive way because we won it. But I want to believe he'll never do that again. Yeah, had the guys warmed up. That was part of my concern there at the end. And when I bringing in, I'm just going to give you a full disclosure, bringing in Roberto right there, I was concerned about bringing Gomes back in because he had warmed up earlier in the game. And then there's all this great delay. And some people might think that's not a big deal, but I've already done that. And it's been a negative situation, so I was concerned. So, boom, let's bring him in right there. But then it got to that point where we needed that out. We called down. Gomer said he was fine, and obviously he was. He's again. It's all about matchups and stuff. And the guys that he hit well tonight, according to our stuff, he matched up well with. De Jesus, I think, has also had really good at bats and had a pretty clutch one tonight. We'll just try to stick with tried and true, and not try to start guessing.